Hey everybody, welcome back to the rock room. So we're going to cut some more stuff up. I was looking around some buckets, and I seen this rock sitting on the shelf. I thought I don't know if anybody remember the when I was going to these Amish farms and looking at their old rock piles. I had come across this pretty cool looking Wisconsin tater. It had a lot of agatization going on inside of it, so I thought why don't we haven't cut a Wisconsin rock in a while, so let's cut one of these Wisconsin taters up. I'll show you what it first looks like. And yes, in case you're wondering, and oh yeah, it's snowing. Of course it's snowing. Good old Wisconsin, it's always snowing. So if I go over here and let me turn the light on here. Oh, let me stop this for a second. So, okay, like I was saying, this was that rock I had got from the Amish farm, and it's pretty typical of what we find. Let me zoom in a little bit, but on this one, it had a lot of agate banding going on in it. I know it's tough to tell because it's completely dry. Of course, I don't want to get this wet and then put it on the saw. But it has a lot of banding in it. And I know it's really tough to see now. And plus, it's kind of dark. We got no light anymore. So this is what I'm going to cut. I'll throw this in the saw. We'll start cutting some pieces off it. And I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this first piece I cut off. It's the outside piece. I know it's tough to get a good look at it with these crappy lights, but it's like 10 below outside, and I'm not going outside, so, and it's not sunny anyhow. A little bit of dog hair on there, but if you look on this top edge, and I know it's tough to see, but it's got a pretty cool looking pattern there. The rest of it, kind of a little mossy. You can see a couple little agate babies popping out here or there. I don't know if I could even zoom this in more. It's probably too much, but you can see it's definitely trying to be an agate, or was trying to be an agate, but yeah. So let's look at another piece. Okay, here's the next slab I cut off there. You see on that top seems to have just that little edge, although now it's getting smaller. And this is pretty, I know it's tough to see with these lights, but it's pretty translucent too, so. But again, really tough to see in these lights. There's some a good bunch of agate down there, or at least an agate inside of this rock. If this would be the host rock or something. There's quite a bit of agatization going on up there too. And of course you can see that big old fracture running down the center, so, but it looks like the only one. There may be some smaller fracturing going on, but not too bad. Alright, this is the next piece I just chopped off. You can see a lot of, and this is real, there you can kind of see how translucent this is. It's got some nice agatization going on in there. Flip it over. There's a real nice looking agate there. And yeah, after I wash these off so they're wet and oily, which is even harder to see. But then I reached the end of where I could cut this on this angle, so I had to, of course, turn the rock, put it in the vise different, and start cutting some more. So this is the first piece where I turn the rock in the vise to try to get a different look at it. And it doesn't seem to be as red on this side. But wow, has it got some crazy stuff going on in there. There was like an old crystal pocket there. So yeah, pretty crazy. All right, here's the next piece off there. And yeah, I'm kind of glad I turned this. Because there's just a lot going on this side. Just look at all of them crazy agate areas. Like I say, that's on the outside where you could see the agatization. But this thing is full of fortification banding. I mean, even in these big void areas, you can see it. You know, it's just absolutely everywhere, other than this big chalcedony area here. But that's the translucent area. That almost looks kind of mossy. But yeah, I like this side. Okay, so I just freeformed a little pendant shape out here. I tried to get a good agate spot. It kind of seems to have a lot going on there. So I'll trim this out and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I just trimmed that out on the trim saw. There's the waste pieces, and you can see the bottom. Whoops, sorry for moving that around. See the bottom chipped out of me. So what I'm going to do before I get any further in here, I'm going to drill a hole in the top for the cord now before I get too far into it, just in case it breaks out. So I'll drill the hole, show you what that looks like. Okay, I got that hole drilled in there, and wow, what a pain in the badukas. Man, this stuff is so freaking hard. I probably took 15 minutes to get this hole drilled. I had to drill a small bit first, bore the hole, and then go with a bigger bit, and it was not any easier with that small hole drilled in there. So yeah, what a pain in the butt. So now we'll put her on the cabber and see what she can look like. Okay, here's the finished pendant, and it's kind of more of the earth hue tones, and I can see this spot there on the bottom where it's kind of coming apart. It's got that nice agate banding on top, but yes, the earthy tones, really super hard, really hard to work with, hard to polish, hard to do everything with. So, but if I buff this up some more, I kind of hurried up on it. If I buff this up some more, I could get it to look even better. And like how you say it is. Well, now I won't waste my time trying to. It's pretty translucent. So yeah, that's the Wisconsin tater, or at least one of the colors. So yeah, so that's the Wisconsin fieldstone polisher, going through the steps. You know, the raw stone, sliced it up, made it a little cab, and there you go. Nice little piece of jewelry. Again, it's kind of that rustic colors, you know, not no bright colors, not no heavy whatever, but and yes, a lot of that Wisconsin stone comes in a lot better looking than that, the taters do. But that was the one I was cutting, that was the one I was working on, so that's the one I took through the steps and finished and processed. So what I'm saying is that that is really, really hard. That's some really hard material. Again, so it was really tough to work on, and it took a long time in each step. So I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Thanks for watching. Thanks everybody for subscribing and commenting and liking. Really appreciate it. So they say it's 10 degrees below zero outside, so good old Wisconsin, you can always count on it to be freaking cold. So have a good one, everybody. See you next week.